XRP is the most explosive asset in the crypto market. Even if it is like that, we believe that others will also catch up. But now there are a lot of doubters. But the main question is, are you one among them? Are you going to miss the next wave up? The wave 1 and then the wave 2. Both of them are pending right now. If just this correction from 0.78 to 0.48 hit you, then the volatility ahead may stress you so much that you may take profit too early. Always remember, we are dealing with the most explosive asset in the crypto market. Look at the connections which you can actually see, and they are now playing out. Ripple, central banks, financial institutions, which is now, reaching that fruition stage where you are looking to get things out so fast. Look at this, central bank, monetary authority in UAE, we're working with Ripple. Now they are coming out with new systems. So that is already connected with Alpha Dan Exchange, and you know how that works. So the financial institutions who are already on RippleNet are delivering for the governments. And now we are waiting for that December 3, and we know it's going to be effective, but we want to know how much effective it will be as we move further, because a lot of central banks are coming in. They are looking at this technology. They are moving in for this one. And, the utility coins such as Ripple are being highlighted. XRP is being highlighted, and they understand that it is a utility coin. So if you go into this one and read through this, you clearly get that utility coins such as XRP, although these are primarily targeting cross-border wholesale use rather than domestic retail. So although these, meaning they understand this is for that purpose, but they can also use it for the domestic purpose as well. So that's not a small deal. Now let's dig in deep. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. Looking at the fluctuation in the crypto market, you can definitely see last 7 days, there are some who went up, who are still up even after this correction. XRP 30% up, ADA 10% up, XLM 80% up. These are not just by chance. If you understood the market cycle and where we were, you already understood that yes, we didn't miss that. 2 days back, I highlighted this. LTC is at the 50-day moving average and the support zone, which is that green box. And we are going to move to the upside. At that time, we were around $67, $68. And right now, this is the situation. We bounced. We came back above that moving average there, and it's moving to the upside. So you need the right call at the right time for your assets and your portfolio. If you would like to get the same, you can check out the Patreon link given in the description. Now, let's move forward. When the price pumps, say we were around 0.12, 0.13, gradually we rose to 0.2, 0.3. We waited there for some time. We had a lot of resistance. Then we popped towards 0.8, say 0.78 to being precise, where I was trading. And as you guys knew, if these whales didn't believe in this project, it's so easy for them to take out their positions slowly as we go up with a lot of profit. But they are still accumulating. They are still there. Why? Because they believe in this asset and the future value, which will be reflected in the price. Right now, yes, the price has nothing to do with its value. We know that the value of this asset is enormous, and it will take time for the investors to reflect the same here. But one thing is for sure, if you're patient enough, if you're ready to wait till that happens, it is going to give you enormous amount of profit. Wealth is created by seeing what 99% others can't see. And if you look at the number of investors in XRP who are still holding, not selling, with the steel, the steel nerves, they are still strong, and they are just below 0.01% considering the entire population of the globe. So this is not by chance you are here. You are here, you're doing your research, you are taking as much information inside as possible, you're digesting it properly, you're being educated and taking well guided decisions. And that's how you make profit. It's not just about the technicals, it's also about the fundamentals. But when you combine both of these tools, the technical analysis and the fundamental analysis, that becomes so much powerful. This tool, which is so much powerful, is going to give you a lot more idea in the future. Say here in Payments Canada website, now we went in detail through their reports and covered how they are looking at this payment system, how they are trying to adopt a new infrastructure entirely in their country for real-time gross settlements. Now, yes, there is a discussion going on about December 3, and when you look at SEC, you kind of get this. US Securities and Exchange Commission is coming up with, they meet on December 3, SEC Investor Advisory Committee to meet remotely. So what does it actually have to do with what we are looking at? The Investor Advisory Committee is established to advise the SEC on regulatory priorities. So what are those? The regulation of securities products, trading strategies, fee structures, and the effectiveness of disclosures. So as you go forward, they have to talk and highlight that which assets are securities and which are not. And as we clearly got it from within the SEC, that if that coin, any coin in case, is having that utility and it's being sold to serve that utility in a working network, it can never be a security. So now, if you still doubt whether XRP is going to be stated as security, either those guys who are stamping that security label on XRP is a fool and they don't understand the technology and what it stands for, or they're just being funded by the Chinese. That's now just my speculation. Anyway, let's jump into this tweet. Michael highlighted this. Ripple Executive says the days of Bitcoin maximalism is over. Now why? When you jump into entire market and look at the return on investment and then the utility side of it, you understand that investors are now looking at assets which have utility. Now that's not about all the investors, just the smart guys, and that's where majority of money flows in future. So the smart money is pushing into that direction. If you want to have a bit of that wealth, you need to align yourself in that route so that when the money moves in that direction, you are not going to miss this. If you look at this, a huge fund files to be able to invest up to $500 million in Bitcoin. One by one, different investments are coming into the crypto sphere. And when the realm of crypto is increasing, the profits taken by one institution is being announced, the others will jump in. There is no doubt in that. If you doubt that, do check out what happened while the FOMO kicked in last time. And when this FOMO kicks in, you have to understand, institutions are waiting. They are waiting for the regulations. They are still on the sidelines. As they get a little bit of idea that the regulations are going to come in, they will start to dip their toes inside this. And now the price is really low. But yeah, even after this pump, we are still just starting this bull run. Even though we have this volume looking like huge volume bars, they will look teeny bit as we start this rally. If you go into a monthly chart of XRP and use it like this, you can clearly see this. Just one candle, we broke through first resistance, second and third. Now yes, that candle is not yet completed. You still need a day to get it done. But even if we get closed there and we have a little bit of consolidation there, which mostly doesn't happen with XRP. If you look at this, you will understand what I'm talking about. This is a monthly candle. This is another one where you got wicked and closed a little bit below. But if you look at the next candle there, zoom in, did it go lower from there? For me, I can't see anything. Yes, it wicked there. There was a lot of profit takers there. who didn't actually understood that the market is going to fly. So they missed. Even at the next top, the candle, you got a lot of profit takers, but then it consolidated a bit after a huge price fluctuation. If you want to measure that and say precisely, you can see 8,000% rise in price to that wick. Then profit takers came in, they took their profits, sellers came in, tried to push the price down, but still the total fluctuation of that asset was around 5,000%. That's not a small deal. Then we had a little bit of correction and pumped to the upside. So in short, these monthly candle, when it shows you this symbol, you can just reflect back to the history and say, okay, last time this happened, it was something like this. So what am I expecting? A continuation similar to what we experienced here. If this one candle is just taking us around 220%, what will the next months do? Because the FOMO is just kicking in. And when all of this is happening, let me remind you, you can go into smaller time frame charts, look at it, because it's really understandable that you need to take profit, and majority would still be looking at this and saying, okay, we are having one pattern, then we are having another. What do you have to do with all of this? If you are doing short-term investments, yes, it's risky. If you are doing short to medium term to position yourself well or to look at a perfect entry, these kind of patterns are really helpful. Let it be a 1 hour chart, 2 hour chart, or a 4 hour chart, depending upon how risk tolerant you are and how you would like to allocate your capital. How many positions are you willing to get? So that gives you the ability to understand, okay, this is happening. So understand we traveling to the upside, and within that one, we had this pattern which we broke to the upside. If you look at that, this is another triangle pointing to the upside. We tried that resistance a lot of time and then we broke. Now, after that break to the upside, we are still waiting for a confirmation. We are still moving inside this triangle. Now, if we break to the upside, that's positive. If we break to the downside, that's negative. Do keep this in mind. Downside, we have two moving averages, which would be acting as a support. Now, that was on an hourly chart. If you look at that on a 2-hour chart, you can still see that the 50-day moving average is moving closely. And if you activate the 20-day moving average, you can understand the price is being supported there. Now, that's on a 2-hour chart. Mostly those who trade the market use at least a 4-hour chart to reduce the noise and to stay with relevant information, which you need to understand. Now, at this point, when you see the moving average is closing in and MACD kind of going to the downside, showing it may cross to the downside, zoom into the MACD and then look at the price fluctuation. You may understand there is a possibility that the MACD can bounce to the upside. Why? If you look at the RSI, you get that clearly. We broke above this. We came back, now retesting. Once the retest is completed and we are bouncing, the MACD should also reflect the same and bounce to the upside. Now, do remember, these are there only if you want to look at trading. If you are looking at long-term investing, you don't care about the short-term fluctuation, that's the perfect thing to do. Don't stress yourself. Wait for the long run. After, you can see that wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 of fluctuation. Even in between wave 2 and 3, it will be a good chunk of profit which you can take out. But if you are just starting out, you want to maximize your portfolio, your number of units of XRP you hold or any other assets, or you have a lot of different assets in your portfolio, you are not sure about these. Say, I've been getting questions about Holo, Dent, Zap, Zill, a lot of different coins, Icon and all, which they bought in during the initial FOMO when these coins were actually pumping a bit. Now they don't actually understand what to do and they want to jump into XRP. There's a lot of questions, right? You have to manage your portfolio well enough so that you're positioned well to take these profits when these wave 1, 2, 3 and come as we look at. Now, if you don't believe, you can go back 1 or 2 month old videos and look at what we were discussing it and where we are right now. I won't explain much. You can get your answer from there. So if you would like to get these kind of updates, you can definitely look at the Patreon link given in the description below. Now, as we move further, you have to understand, yes, on a smaller time frame, we are getting these symbols, and on a longer time frame, we are waiting for these. if you look at, take a horizontal line and put it here at this resistance, you can understand we revisited that area through this pump, and just in couple of days we reached there. So in that fluctuation, you can see that the 20-day moving average has already crossed the 50-day moving average. It crossed the 250 and 200 here, came back, retested both of them and bounced. Now the price is above the moving average range and the 20-day moving average is following the price. Now delete all those indicators, just keep the moving average and look at the history. Go back. If you go back in history and look at what was happening, you can see the price consolidated a little bit so that the 20-day moving average came closer to it. Then it acted as a support, meaning it's not, some kind of thing which comes in and support the price. It's just the psychology of investors. They understand that right now the 20-day moving average is closer to the price, so we can buy in. So that act as a support for the price as more buyers come in. There is no, set resistance and support which is resisting the price or supporting the price. It's just these levels where the traders or investors see opportunities or take profit or put a sell position. Now that we call them resistance and support. So don't be emotional with these lines, because these depends upon other human beings. If they don't feel the same, it's different. But as we explained all the way, if it's being respected by a lot of people, you'll get a lot of wicks, lot of touches in the same area. If you expand this, as I showed you from last 6 months, 7 months, it's being respected from a long time. We broke above. Now, what is the second region which we have to look? If you look here, you get a support here. If you look here, you get a resistance here. If you plot that line, you reach somewhere here. Now, if you want to be precise, it will be like this. So this was the first area we break through. This is the second area. We broke through that too. Right now, we are getting that area as a support. Now, that's not a small thing because it was a critical area in last bull run. When we were consolidating, that was a critical area. If you extend this to, you'll actually get this. We were having that as a resistance. So that too is a long-term support resistance right now. So if you are stating, no, the asset is going back towards 0.3, at least I personally don't agree with you guys with these technical indicators. Because as I can see the volume here and the price fluctuation, support resistance and the indicators which I used, clearly for me, the bull run is on and just your manipulators are playing with you. Now, why your manipulators? Because you and me are the one who sells intermediately, giving them chance to buy more and take more profit out of your hand. So we are feeding the beast and we have to stop that. And how do you do that? You educate yourself, read as much as possible, study as much as possible, look at the fundamentals of this asset, look at the technicals and how it is turning out. If you need guidance, you can, but you can't do this alone. It completely depends upon your ability to think, read and understand. Now, as an investor, say you're starting here, you're buying this bounce, you're patient enough to make through that first wave and reach that thousands of percentage of profit, what will you do next? Say, once this crypto market is popping out at the top of this cycle, you should be taking out your profits, right? And if you're taking out that, would it be into fiat, which is depreciating? No, you would like to still store the value. You still want to store that value so that your purchasing power is not decreasing from that point just because the central banks are mad and they are printing a lot of money, right? So you need alternative assets from this. We will have to go through, understand them as we are discussing in the Patreon individually. We will guide them through. So I hope you actually understood the technical side of this one. Now, as we discuss through the fundamentals, there are a lot of different news which you have to understand in the economy. Say this one from Bloomberg highlights, pile of cash is being with the dictator of Hong Kong now, who is being sanctioned by the United States. You have to understand, they don't understand this technology. If they want Bitcoin, Ether or any other, they can actually put that into this decentralized network where no governments can handle this. Now, that's not just to support this individual because I support her. I don't give a damn about that. But the perspective is also there. It can also happen. So the money from the free side will come in. And as we see increased volume, Jed is selling more, and as Leonidas highlights, if this is going like this in next 387 days, meaning if our volume is pumping in just a year, this guy is out of the market, selling all of his stuff. Do remind you, when this guy is selling, the other side of Ripple is buying as much as possible, accumulating, because they understand that the price of this asset is going to reflect its value soon in this market cycle. As the market evolves through this market cycle, and we get a lot of information from different central banks, they're coming out with their central bank digital currency project, and they're announcing to go inside the economy and give this ability for the common citizens to use this. It's not only happening in one area, it's going through every side. Keep this in your mind. RippleNet Bridge Global Central Bank Digital Currencies. Yes, it definitely can. I don't have a doubt and don't want to read through that, but I'll link all these articles in the description. So if you want to do that, you can get that idea. Now, if you look at the chart here, which we have highlighted previously, it's clear that we are going through that evolution in price, where on a shorter time frame, you can see the price came down, wicked here, 1 touch, 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7, and it's repeating. So when the price was dropping below this particular trend line, I informed my patrons that this line is the key. So 0.576 is the key in this exchange. Now it can vary a little bit, say 1 or 2% up and down in different exchanges, but this is going to be a key level on a shorter time frame. We broke below this trend. Now we are trying to go back in. If this is being rejected, understand it will come back, retest this zone. If it doesn't, and if it go back in, then look at a pump towards 0.7. And that's not a bad deal if you have already accumulated back here. Now that's not way back. It's just 2 days back. If you have bought in here, you would be reaping that profit here, right? On your shorter time frame charts. Now that's all for today, guys. And if you saw value, please do support the channel, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done that already. If you would like to get more value, you can use the Patreon link given in the description. We have Telegram channel, Telegram group, where there are a lot of charts, setups being popping. Everyone is doing the charts, showing you the setups. I'm personally giving you everything I see in the chart instantly, not just once a day. It's like at least 5-10 times. And personally, I'm looking at different portfolios based on their tier of patronage and then giving them that value. If you would like to get that, you can check it. Otherwise, you can skip it. So guys, I'll meet you on the next video. Bye for now.